Hey guys, LevelCap here. Today we've got an episode of This Week in Battlefield where I'll be catching you guys up on all the latest and greatest news going on in the Battlefield community. First thing on the list is that Battlefield Premium has still got some life left in it. The calendar for Premium showing us unlocks for camos, knives, and other stuff has actually been extended throughout the year of 2015. It does not show us what we'll be getting each month, but it seems to suggest that there's going to be a bit more premium content on its way. This probably has something to do with DICE recently giving us the information that they're working on night versions of current maps available in Battlefield 4. There's already been some cool examples of this done with Battlefield 4 cinema tools of some very, very dark looking maps where you actually need your flashlight to look around and see objects. I have a feeling though, in fact I'm pretty much certain that the nighttime maps are going to be very similar to say Death Valley in Battlefield 3 where there's going to be a big bright moon in the sky and we're still going to be able to see a lot of stuff on the ground. So I don't know if that means we're going to actually have legitimate night maps where you need flashlights and other things to actually see around, or if it'll be more of a cinematic night map. I'm leaning much more towards the cinematic night map just because if we get a realistic looking night map, the spotting system in Battlefield 4 is going to be way overpowered. Now how about the community test environment for Battlefield 4, the area where everybody gets together, tests out new ideas, new things the developers are working on, and then eventually they get shipped off to the regular game. And we haven't seen an update from CTE in quite some time. It's going to be a very, very big patch and it can't come soon enough because there are some very cool changes in it. One of the recent changes made to the game is a buff to the Ace 23, one of the best assault rifles in the game. In fact, in my opinion, I think it is the best assault rifle in the game. They've actually given it a larger magazine, which seems almost unbelievable to me. It is more in line with, I guess, the real gun, although I think it fires a pretty standardized magazine, so you could have an extended mag for the gun in real life, I suppose. The AEK, another top-notch assault rifle, is also getting a reduction to the first shot recoil. Its overall recoil is going up slightly. This is probably going to make it a more effective burst fire weapon, potentially an even better close quarter weapon. We'll have to see how that one plays out. The first aid pack is actually getting a very good upgrade all around. It's no longer going to require you to be unsuppressed in order to get healed, so it's going to be great for healing yourself and doing some running gunning gameplay versus the med bag where you have to throw it down and then wait till you're unsuppressed before it will actually heal you. The overall time requirement, however, to get healed by the med bag is being reduced, so it's going to be a little bit more effective. Now how about the Battlefield Hardline beta? We've been promised another beta before the game actually comes out. When is that going to happen? Well, we'll find out tomorrow. Wednesday the 14th, they're going to announce when the beta release is. You'll probably be able to find the information on the Average Gaming news site, otherwise I'll post it on Facebook and tweet it out. Now recently Jack Frags made a video where he's discovered some interesting sound files associated with the map Paracel Storm. Remember way back in the day when Jack Frags and a bunch of other YouTubers were trying to figure out the clues about the Kraken on Paracel Storm, and then we all kind of got sidetracked when they found the Megalodon and figured that that somehow was what they were talking about. It seems like it might not actually be what they were talking about, and there could be some sort of Kraken or a giant monster on Paracel Storm. I recommend checking out Jack Frags' video, and there's certainly the possibility of a new monster hunt in the near future. Now back on the 3rd of January, a bunch of servers, a huge amount of servers actually, were shut down in protest of basically the way that DICE handles server patch releases. So normally when we get a client-side patch, it's a big deal. You all hear about it in the news, and there's balance changes and tweaks and all this crazy stuff that's changed in the game. Server-side patches happen more frequently, and it's usually something that you won't notice as the player. You'll basically just join a server, things might be different, you won't really notice overall. It'll just be tweaks and fixes here and there. Anyway, because the Battlefield 4 player base pretty much exists on private servers primarily, so basically we're paying to have servers so that the entire community continues to play the game and enjoy the game, server admins and server hosts are pretty upset with just the way DICE has handled things. Some of their complaints are that patch notes come too late, there's not enough done to combat cheating, so even if you spend a lot of money on a server each month, there's no guarantee that it's not going to get filled up with cheaters and have them ruin the game. There's a lot of strict server restrictions, patch notes are released with no warning, or notification, so nobody really knows when they're going to get the information based on the latest server patch, which is pretty important for server admins. And they also want more control over the number of vehicles, classes, and weapons in the game. Currently, they use weird tools like kicking or banning people for using the wrong gun. If they try and do a pistol-only server and you join in with an assault rifle, you can kill somebody with it, but then the server will immediately ban you. Obviously, it would be a better solution to just turn off certain weapons on the server side so that you just couldn't select them to begin with. And I have to say, I agree with everything they're asking for. Imagine giving server admins the opportunity to actually turn off certain vehicles. You could take Langkang Dam Conquest, turn off the jets and the attack helicopter and the scout helicopter, make it just transport heli so it's no longer an air-dominated map, and it could actually be a really good conquest map. We'll never know because that doesn't seem like it's going to be an option that we ever get. They are, however, adding in a lot of these server options for Battlefield Hardline, and I have a feeling that a lot of this is going to come back around to BF4. We'll have to wait and see what happens, but I think that a lot of the good improvements that Battlefield Hardline is making to the genre are actually going to trickle over into BF4 as well. Personally, one of my big requirements is to have ranked servers have player count requirements for the map type or the game mode that you're playing on. So no more 64-player rush games, you know, keep it to 32. No more 64-player team deathmatch games where the maps just aren't designed for it. Keep it to 32 or even 24, depending on the map. I think this would overall yield a much more enjoyable experience and a less spammy, chaotic experience, which is something that I think we're all kind of tired of at this point. Anyway, that wraps it up for this episode of This Week in Battlefield. Let me know what you guys think about the server customization options. What would you want to see from a future patch? As always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. This is LevelCap, signing out.